Look up One Direction. Google it.
I will tell you what's coming up. There is some drama around Madonna's Super Bowl performance, but we'll get to that in just a second. Joan Rivers and her daughter, Melissa Rivers, have a show. It's absolutely hilarious. If you haven't ever seen Joan and Melissa, Joan knows best. You have to watch the show. It features Joan getting high and laughing her ass off.
It's pretty funny.
And, like, needing to get picked up. But it also, there's one episode where her daughter Melissa organizes all of her friends to do an intervention on Joan because Joan Rivers, at that point, wanted to get yet another plastic surgery procedure. So Melissa brings all of her friends in, and Joan just thinks it's ridiculous, tells every single one of them, like, hey, if I bought you guys a surgery, what would you buy? And everything kind of changed at that point because they all just went for it and agreed not to say anything.
They all sat there, oh, you shouldn't do it, you shouldn't do it. And I said, what if I pay for everybody in this room? What would you do? Every single person.
It was like, it actually became an episode about hypocrisy.
Yeah.
So.
And it said on the show that you've had 734.
Yes.
That's not true.
No, 739.
No.
Yes.
How is that possible?
Oh, every weekend I just go in and I do something. No.
She's kind of joking, but at one point you look at her and you wonder, did she really have 739 plastic surgery
I believe it.
They must be counting in like Botox and stuff and lip injections, stuff that I think you can get done on the weekends.
Perhaps. Now, Ashton Kutcher just wants to move on from Demi Moore. A friend of the 2.5 Men star says he still cares about Demi and would help her if asked, but he's not really part of her life anymore. Now, according to another source, they said for a while, Ashton was kind of acting like the primary parent of Demi's 3 daughters because she was so out of control. As for Demi, she actually checked into a rehab facility in Sundance, Utah. The actress actually checked into the now famous Cirque Lodge. Also treated
Cirque du Soleil Lodge.
Treated Lindsay Lohan back in the day, a lot of other celebrities. It's a big place where lots of celebrities get treated for all sorts of things. Supposedly, she's getting treated for an eating disorder, addiction issues, although they're just saying it's exhaustion. Still sticking to that exhaustion story. Not cool. Now,
You're not buying it, I take it. You don't buy that at all.
Nobody buys it. Nobody in their right mind buys that story. And most people watch the Super Bowl to see the 2 best teams of the season lay it on the line. And it was a really good game this year. And of course, there was a lot of hype around the Super Bowl halftime show featuring Madonna. And everyone was going, are you worried at all about a possible wardrobe malfunction?
Great attention to detail has been paid to my wardrobe. There will be no wardrobe malfunctions. Promise.
Now, Madonna kept her promise to be on her best behavior. However, MIA, the British rapper, was not really on her best behavior. Right when she was done doing her rap part, she actually flipped off the audience. Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I like the MIA part, the best part of that song.
Well, you know what, John Jay? Earlier we were talking and you were right. They did actually miss the flip-off. So there was a producer backstage who I guess wasn't shocked enough by it, so it kind of missed it and then blurred out the screen. So if you're watching and your screen blurred out, it was just a little bit late. And yes.
That person must be terrible at video games.
It was crystal clear.
I get that, though.
Whoops.
You miss somebody cussing and you hit it just to make it seem like you really tried and you missed it.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
As for the NFL and NBC, they've both issued apologies late last night saying the NFL hired the talent, produced the halftime show. Our system was late to obscure the inappropriate gesture, and we apologize to our viewers. An NBC spokesman explained that a system in place during the telecast attempted to blur the image, but just late by 2/3 of a second. He couldn't really identify how many seconds of delay were in place during the broadcast, but it wasn't enough.
It's just a hand
gesture. It
gesture.
wasn't enough.
You know, it's just a finger.
She's from England. That might mean something totally different.
I think most people probably didn't catch it.
I didn't. If no one would have said anything about it or started tweeting the picture. I watched the whole thing and I didn't see it.
There was some interesting activity following the Super Bowl. The voice coach CeeLo Green hooked up with some of his boys from Goody Mob, went to a strip club in Indianapolis at like 1 in the morning, decided to have several different lap dances, and he requested, and I will quote, the baddest bitches in the club, making it rain with about $10,000 in cash.
I do
for
that
his
just
lap
going
dances.
into if I go to a Denny's. How many your party? You just sent me with the baddest bitches are waiting on this table. Grand
CeeLo
slam for
for ya.
everybody here.
Katy Perry was performing at a pre-Super Bowl party and dedicated her very raunchy song Peacock to Tim Tebow, said, "This one goes out to Tim Tebow." She also joked about the rumor that her religious parents are trying to hook her up with him and said, "Hi, Tim. My parents say hi. Hi, Tim.
That's not the
Hi."
song. My parents say hello. Tim Tebow.
That's not the song. If you missed the Super Bowl halftime show, if you want to relive the shocking or really not that shocking moments, or if you have want to redo and see all of the Super Bowl ads, you can log on to our website, johnjrich.com, keyword GBG. Also, The Voice 2 premiered, and there's a full recap, including
Loved
videos,
it.
so you don't have to go back and watch the whole thing. Just see the videos all in one convenient place, johnjrich.com, keyword GBG.